Today marks a year since the start of the shutdown in Oregon. There's no question the pandemic has altered everyone's lives. For some, it's led to changes that will become permanent. Max Goldwasser explains.
We find ourselves in an unprecedented public health crisis, a rapidly evolving global pandemic.
Preventing the spread of the coronavirus, and that would be by closing our school.
For sale by owner. This is not a typical sign you see in Redmond's downtown area, but more of these signs are being posted.
The mental well-being of our young people, the suicide rates, the anxiety, the depression that's rampant.
Carry out and delivery only with no on-site consumption.
Not only know that this is real and kind of help deal with the shock that we talked about, but also that I'm not alone.
Most of us have never experienced anything like this.
It was like going over to a switch on a wall and just flipping it.
Well, hi, Jane. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
It's been a year since the shutdown transformed the world we live in. But at the Deschutes County Stabilization Center, this world is all they've known.
It has been a challenge for all of us.
The facility opened in June to help anyone going through a mental health crisis.
So what did that look like when you tried?
In just 9 months, they've seen more than 1,100 people and 100 children, some of them citing the pandemic as a partial reason for seeking help.
It is definitely a prevalent theme that we hear, regularly.
And it's affecting their work, too. Follow-up therapy sessions are done almost exclusively online.
That's great.
Making it hard for them to connect with their clients at a time when their job is as crucial as ever. Still, their presence has been felt.
Give yourself credit for that.
At one point, the Stabilization Center was the only county building open.
We've had at least 10 people say that if we weren't open, that they would have ended their life that day.
There have been almost 8,900 cases of COVID-19 in Central Oregon. 116 people have died with the virus. These are trying times. Trying because the past year has been incredibly difficult. And trying because people have experimented with new ways to stay in business. That stands true for the folks at the Stabilization Center, as well as for Ray Soley, the executive director at the Tower Theater.
We were the first people to close and to take the hit. We will probably be among the last people to get to a sense of this is similar to the way it was in 2019.
Soley says the Tower Theater typically welcomes 65,000 people and hosts 220 events a year. And before the pandemic, they were on pace for their most successful year ever. Since the shutdown, though, those numbers have dropped by nearly 80%. Causing the theater to lose about $800,000 in revenue.
When the rule comes down that you can't be indoors with large gatherings of people, that is the definition of theater and of live performances.
So as part of the creative community, they decided to get, creative. For the first time, they began offering live streams of local and international performances, exposing the public to new shows that would never have existed in Central Oregon.
We're going to be hosting this year's virtual band a cappella festival.
We kept saying that although we may be closed, we're not dark.
Even after the pandemic ends, Soley says they'll continue to use live streams as a way to enhance the audience experience with behind-the-scenes content before and after shows.
Places. Thank you, Places.
Other permanent changes will include digital playbills and menus, showing that in some cases, the new normal is exactly that, the new normal.
Blend some of those things that are new to us because of protocols and pandemic with what we used to do.
Other businesses can say the same. Wild Rose, a Thai restaurant in downtown Bend, will continue its curbside pickup service as long as the city allows it. And owner Rosie Westland says they're launching a new online ordering and reservation system. 2 different industries, both trying to endure the pain of a pandemic and trying out new features that may have never made an appearance before, but will now stick forever. In Bend, Max Goldwasser, News Channel 21.